Last week, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey announced that the social media platform will stop accepting political ads by November 22nd of this year. Dorsey announced the decision in a tweet saying, quote, "We've made the decision to stop all political advertising on Twitter globally. We believe political message reach should be earned, not bought." The company has defined a political ad as any ad that refers to an election or candidate, or one that advocates on any policy matters. Talking Points analyst Michael Fernari is here to discuss this change and how it's going to affect political advertising. Michael, thank you so much for being here. So obviously, this is a decision that social media platforms have been pressured to sort of lean this way for a while. Why did Twitter ultimately make this decision?
So it seems like one of the big points there is that Jack Dorsey, I think, sees himself a little bit different than Mark Zuckerberg does. I think Jack Dorsey tries to see Twitter as a platform for social change and so on some level, whereas I don't think Mark Zuckerberg makes that same business decision. Specifically here, November 15th, we're going to get a little more detail on what exactly this policy is going to look like, and by November 22nd, it's going to be implemented. So the big distinction they're making here is it's going to be any speech regarding campaigns, any speech regarding politicians, issues. What exactly they mean by issues, we're going to say soon. And an example of what they're looking for here, Chinese state government media organization Xinhua News was kind of in hot water over the summer with these Hong Kong protests because they were sending out tweets that were promoted by Twitter and that were paid advertisements on Twitter that some were saying were kind of running interference for the Chinese government. Twitter was in a lot of hot water over that promotion, and I think that's part of what spurred this change from Twitter.
Now, Michael, you mentioned Zuckerberg earlier. Obviously, Twitter is an important platform for politicians, namely the president, but arguably Facebook had a bigger role to play politically in 2016 especially. Would you be able to talk about how other social media platforms are approaching this?
Absolutely. So the big dichotomy here is Twitter and Facebook. Those are the two ones with the big high-profile CEOs that we hear from all the time. Those are the two that have testified before Congress recently. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, there's really a big distinction here. I think Mark Zuckerberg sees himself more as a businessman. He has said previously that he does not believe that Facebook's job is to interpret truth. He kind of views Facebook more as a platform, as a neutral platform where anything can be published, whereas I think Twitter and Jack Dorsey, they believe in kind of a more proactive approach, and I think we're seeing that dichotomy play itself out now.
And quickly, social media really revolutionized the 2016 campaign. How do you think these changes to Twitter is going to affect campaigns moving forward?
The Trump campaign came out and was not a huge fan of this, but I think it's maybe a little bit overrated. When people talk about the Russian influence in the election, it was not through paid advertisements. They didn't spend a lot of money there. Where really we see more of the disinformation is through accounts created that are maybe fake or fake accounts that spread misinformation. It's not really through the ads. So I think that you can't really overstate what is going to be happening here.
Now, Michael, obviously a lot of implications on social media heading into the next election. Thank you so much.